I've always felt like my prayer life and my working out life kind of gets in the way of my family life, but really it's a foundation. And so what I've come up with is some changes in my life that I made to make it better. So I hope that these kind of help you guys and help you start your day off and become a better dad and a better husband. My life lesson of the week is pick a prayer habit and stick to it. If you give up too quickly, you're gonna not see the effects of it, and you're not gonna have enough time to allow the Holy Spirit to be working through you and to change your life through it. So don't give up so quickly. So I have a pretty busy schedule, and I work a rotating shift work. And so what that means is 1 week I'll be working 60 hours of night shifts, and the next week I'll be working 55, 60 hours of day shifts. And it kind of rotates back and forth over and over. It's pretty busy, and it takes a lot of time away from my family, especially when I'm sleeping during the day and working at night and having that transition over to nights. I kind of feel this guilt about taking my own personal time, about working out and my prayer life and doing things that help better build my foundation as a husband and a father and my personal foundation spiritually. I've found that is kind of destructing who I am as a person. And so my goal lately has been to try and find a way that I can have a healthy spiritual life and a healthy exercise life and all these other things and incorporate it into my daily schedule. And so I've come up with this morning routine that I did from talking with my wife and kind of come up to the conclusion that I don't want to miss out on time, but I'm willing to shift my sleep schedule around a little bit to have that time to work on this on my own. There's so many studies out there that show that an active father is so important in your life. For instance, an Iowa State study said that active fathers have children who have higher GPAs and higher graduation rates and better success in college. A Harvard study showed that adult women's perspective on men and masculinity increased greatly by having an active and a present father. The men and the women, as they became adults, had more successful relationships, more successful friendships, better and healthier marriages, lower divorce rates, so many things. Dita Oliker over at Psychology Today talked about the spiritual aspect of fatherhood and how that's important to the kids too. And through different studies, she found that there was an increase in virtues, an increase in spiritual life later on in life, an increase in the likelihood of the kids teaching their own kids a spiritual life. And all of this really has to do with how you build yourself up as a father. If you're not taking care of yourself spiritually, and if you're not leading your family in the way that it needs to be led, then you're setting them up for failure and you're setting yourself up for failure. And so I had to make a change in my life. And so that's where I came up with these things that I started doing in the morning. These are just recommendations. If you guys like them, it's really worked out for me. It's been transforming my life. So I'll get into what I do. So the first thing is I'll wake up early. It's really hard for me to wake up early. I'm a night person. I always have been. So I'll wake up early. I will start my daily routine just off on the right foot. I'll get up at the first alarm if I can. I'll take any supplements that I have. Kind of the first real thing that I do is I'll start off in morning prayer. We recently built this chapel in our bedroom, and it's great. It has a crucifix in the middle, and then it has a bunch of books, spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius. And I kind of spend that time doing my morning devotion. I'll do, if I have enough time, I'll do Liturgy of the Hours. It takes a lot of time. I try and make this the first thing that I do because I think it's so important to start your day off with prayer. And it's really kind of helps me have a clear mind spiritually. So that's the prayer part of the morning routine. Every other day or every third day, I'll work out and I'll just do a high intensity interval training. And what that means is just getting my heart rate up and doing exercises kind of back to back. If you don't know what high interval intensity training is, just YouTube it. You'll see millions of videos about it. I probably spend 10, 15 minutes on this. It's not really much of a time commitment for me. I just want to feel healthier throughout the day and just have enough time to get my heart rate up and to get sweating because that's important to me. If I have work, I'll go shower. If I don't have work, I might not shower at the time. I might just get the rest of my morning stuff done. The next thing I'll do is I'll plan my day on, I use Todoist. I used to use Google Tasks or Notes on my phone. I like Todoist right now, so I guess flavor of the week. So what I'll do is I'll just write down the big events during the day. So like if I want to spend time with Annie or Ethan, my kids, I'll put that in there just to kind of be mindful so I don't get busy with the day and just end up putting all these other priorities first. I'll put appointments in my Google Calendar, and I'll do everything else just like a quick 5-minute thing so that I have my day planned. The last thing I'll do before everybody wakes up is I'll do some personal thing. Right now I'm learning Python programming. Trying to self-teach myself. Okay. Because I think a lot of people want to learn a different foreign language. This is kind of a foreign language, right? I could apply it to my life by building different applications that we can use around the house. Other things I'll do at this time is I will read a book or whatever. Usually at this point I'm drinking coffee or I've had my pre-workout before I worked out. And so I'm not tired. Reading books puts me to sleep like immediately. And so if I'm in bed and I'm reading a book, it's like 2 seconds I'm out. So yeah, that's pretty much my morning. I would say it takes about an hour to an hour and a half if I'm working out and doing all these other things. But really it's not much of a time commitment. And if you go to bed 30 minutes early and wake up an hour early, like I find that I have so much time before even the kids start waking up or my wife wakes up. It really takes a good foundation to be an example of leadership to your family. You're really setting yourself at a disadvantage if you're not taking time out of your day to devote to prayer and personal preparation so that you can be a good leader for your family. Starting off the day on the right foot has been such a great change for me, and I find that it's even affecting how my wife changes her morning routine. It kind of inspires her, and that's a testament to me. Because a lot of times I have a lot of self-doubt. That's kind of my sin. I'll have another video where I talk about the 2 types of people. So you have people who are on their journey down from pride, who are trying to get to holiness, and then people who are coming from self-doubt and self-loathing, I guess, and coming up to holiness as well. And I feel like I've come up from the bottom. It's not natural for me to be a leader and to be a confident leader when I'm coming from this bottom level. So these small changes and these small victories that I've been having with this morning routine have really started off my day great, and it kind of builds up on itself. It's kind of a momentum thing, which is really great. I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy. It's not easy waking up early, especially when nobody else is awake initially. It's really a temptation for me to sleep in. What I do is I just kind of find my motivation. And for me, it's a spiritual life or death. If I'm not taking care of myself spiritually, then I'm dooming my kids to unsuccessful schooling, unsuccessful spiritual life. And I want them going to church, and I want them believing in God and having the spiritual life that they can see the effects of God in their life. So I think that there's other ways that you can kind of incorporate your family into this as well. And so if your wife likes to wake up early too, say, hey, can we work together to have our own morning routine where we do maybe one thing together and then we kind of split off and do our own things individually so that we can be better versions of ourselves during the day. Because I've found that I need that alone time, because when I get home from work, I don't have alone time, which has its ups and downs. I love being with my wife and I love spending time with my kids and helping them get ready for bed and everything. However, I need time to decompress the things that I'm going through in my life and to think about the things that I need to make changes on and to kind of be mindful about them. And so if I'm not doing that early in the morning, then I'm not doing it at all because I'm just so busy throughout the day. Another point is that John Paul II talks about this original solitude in his Theology of the Body series on his Wednesday audiences that happened, I think, in the 80s. Anyways, he mentions how in the second Adam and Eve story, the second creation story, he talks about how Adam was alone, and this is where the whole "it's not good for man to be alone" thing came from. And so I think that's an important aspect, and I think JP2 does as well. He mentions it's an important aspect to the sequence of events in the creation story, and having that aloneness and having that loneliness is something that we all experience, especially if we're not married and we want to get married. I found that I was real lonely and I just wanted to find someone I wanted to marry. You just feel lonely, you know? And so I don't know if any of you guys feel this way. This is just kind of what I felt. And so that original solitude really puts into perspective the life that you're trying to reach and the life that you're trying to attain. And it motivates you. And so when I have this morning time alone, that's my original solitude. And then I get to my unity with my wife and my family after that. And so it's kind of another layer to it that puts into perspective the spiritual aspects of having a good morning routine and a good schedule before everyone wakes up. Anyways, I think a morning series of events can have such a positive effect in your life, and I think that it can change your life so much for the better, because it has for me. And I found that my life has been so much better since I started this. And so I challenge you guys to take something like this and to adapt it to your life, and just try it once, try it twice, and objectively look at your day at the end of the day and say, was this a successful day? Did I actually accomplish what I wanted to accomplish? If you did, then try it again. If you didn't, then see what else you can do to adapt to it. Anyways, thanks for watching my video. Hit the subscribe button below, hit the like button, the thumbs up, and I'll talk to you guys next time, and God bless. Bye.